for all of these nations that take our money and then they vote against us at the Security Council, or they vote against us potentially at the Assembly. They take hundreds of millions of dollars and even billions of dollars, and then they vote against us. Well, we're watching those votes. Let them vote against us. We'll save a lot. We don't care.
President Trump yesterday seemed to know what was likely to happen at the United Nations. 128 countries voted to condemn his decision to recognize Jerusalem as Israel's capital. Only 9 member nations, including the U.S., voted the other way. Speaking before the vote, U.S. Ambassador to the UN, Nikki Haley, said America would not forget when countries asked the U.S. for aid.
The United States will remember this day in which it was singled out for attack in the General Assembly for the very act of exercising our right as a sovereign nation. We will remember it when we are called upon to once again make the world's largest contribution to the United Nations. And we will remember it when so many countries come calling on us, as they so often do, to pay even more and to use our influence for their benefit.
Today, former CIA Director John Brennan wrote in what was his second ever tweet, quote, Trump administration threat to retaliate against nations that exercise sovereign right in UN to oppose U.S. position on Jerusalem is beyond outrageous. Shows Donald Trump expects blind loyalty and subservience from everyone, qualities usually found in narcissistic, vengeful autocrats. Here to explain what we're witnessing is Rick Stengel, notably a veteran of the State Department, former Undersecretary of State for Public Diplomacy and Public Affairs, also the former managing editor of Time magazine. Rick, I got it figured out this way. Donald Trump is a New York landlord. He probably believes the UN are also kind of, in a way, tenants.
Maybe he covets that real estate, Brian. You have a beautiful view of the East River.
Nice
you look
land
over
on the East
Queens.
River.
Yeah.
What's the danger here?
Well, I'm trying to think of a polite way to say it. I mean, it's really stupid in the sense that it's not tactical, right? Next week, she's going to come to UN members and ask for help on North Korea. She's going to come to UN members and help on Iran. I mean, it's a favor bank. You can't tell people you're going to take names. And by the way, which also sounds like you're also going to get detention after school.
It sounds like we're all going to meet behind the gym after school.
So it's this kind of Tony Soprano-ish approach to the UN that the money we give is a kind of extortion money, and we can get people to do what we want them to do. I mean, it's just a misunderstanding of the international system. And what makes me sad, and obviously makes other people sad, is that we're the architect of that system. I mean, we put that system in place with the UN here after World War II. It's prevented a world war. I mean, we're not giving money because we want them to vote with us. We're giving money because it keeps the peace.
A lot of moderates have been looking at Nikki Haley as kind of a savior, someone they can identify with. Were you disappointed, speaking of taking names, in her choice of language and what she did?
Yeah, it just seemed petty to me. Again, shooting yourself in the foot, because she has to go to all these other countries for help on issues that we care about. And so I don't know. It just seemed a little petulant.
What about friends in hot places? And I'm thinking about, say, Egypt. We can't go ahead and penalize them. That relationship has been, and should be kind of vital to us.
Absolutely. I mean, it's the money that we give to, let's say, Egypt, Jordan, which voted for it, Afghanistan.
Yeah.
I mean, these are places that we have a tremendous responsibility. We can't pull away. I mean, that would also be not in our interest in any way. And by the way, it also alienates all the Sunni nations that we have relationships with, that supposedly Donald Trump wants to make the ultimate deal with solving Israel and Palestine. You need the Sunni nations to support that. I mean, again, in every way, it's a setback for all the things that we would want to do as a nation.
15